In this video, we'll explore how to sew with this vintage, British-made, hand crank sewing machine. Aside from the slogan on the machine bed, there are no identifying marks indicating its manufacturer. As such, I'm guessing that this might be a Vickers sewing machine, as the company's tagline is British-made. Vickers sewing machine production is reported to have been halted to support First World War efforts. So it's understandable that if this is a Vickers machine, that in the midst of production line changes, proper branding details were overlooked and resulted in machines with serial numbers but missing proper company badges. I have not been able to verify any of this though. This machine is all metal and it's sleek with a simple mirror finish chrome faceplate and unique screw features that give it a timeless look. More importantly though, this machine sews beautiful stitches and it is unbelievably smooth and quiet. To test this machine, we'll start with winding the bobbin thread. This machine uses a long bobbin. These spools have a hole on the end, through which we'll place our thread. This helps to keep the thread from slipping off as we begin to wind onto the spool. The spool fits into the socket of the winder and the tail thread is clamped on the left. To ensure that the thread winds evenly along the shaft of the spool, we'll hook the thread into the fork at the top of this arm and then again at the base of the arm. And now we'll draw this up to the hook on the top left of the machine to keep things from tangling and to give it the proper tension when the bobbin is wound. To engage the hand crank, we just need to snap this clasp. To disengage the needle bar, that is, to prevent it from going up and down while we're winding, we'll release the clutch using this switch. Now when we turn the crank clockwise, as indicated by the arrow on the crank base, the bobbin winder should begin to turn as well. I usually like to cut the tail thread after a few winds. The winder turns as long as this rubber tire is pressed up against the hand wheel. The arm moves back and forth to evenly wind the thread. Once the bobbin is wound, we'll drop it into the shuttle. Be sure that the bobbin thread winds counterclockwise when placing it into the shuttle. Now draw the thread through the slit at the top of the shuttle and pull it all the way to the bottom of the shuttle. There should now be a hook into which the thread will catch so that when we pull upward again, the thread will encounter slight resistance or tension. This means it's properly threaded through the shuttle's tension spring. The shuttle goes into the carrier with the flat side to the left and the point downward. To draw the thread up, lower the needle, and when it comes up again, it should also bring the bobbin thread. Don't forget to re-engage the clutch that was released when we were setting it up to wind the bobbin. We'll also lower the bobbin winder so that the tire is not pressed against the hand wheel before we start sewing. I marveled at the craftsmanship of this machine the first time I turned the crank. My thoughts instantly wandered to what hand-cranked weaponry feels like and sounds like. This machine cranks so smoothly and it is so quiet, and the stitches are perfectly well formed and balanced.